Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everyone had a great first week. I'm going to post a news item that's a little longer this week than what I would typically post, but I'd like to do a little bit of a recap of week one and a preview of week two. So during week one, I want to thank everyone for posting their Flipgrid original posts and then all of their replies. Thank you very much for that. I noticed some were posting from computers and some were posting from their phones, and so I think when we do Flipgrid again, I may try posting from my phone from wherever I am. That might be a neat creative way to incorporate a technology into coursework wherever I am and see if posting from a different location, as we're going to see in chapters 2 and 3 of Pierto's book, that traveling to different places can inspire us in different ways. And so thank you for those who posted on phones and made it a little different. And thank you for everyone who sent your email verifications. And then moving on to discussion forums in week one. Overall, really great job. I've had a chance to start reading through those, and you'll have your grades by early next week on those, so you can kind of have an idea of what you can improve upon and the strengths that you have, continuing to build those as well. I will make one comment for everyone in the class, and it may apply and it may not, but we are all reading the same text, so it's not necessary to summarize what you've read, or we will just be reading 10, 12 summaries of all the material that we all just read. That's not necessary, and that's not the point of the discussion forum in this course. When I say to use things like citations, if you quote material, use a citation, and yes, you must incorporate citations. It's a way to use a quote as a jumping off point, and you can use that as something that challenged you, something that was new to you, something that was the same. Perhaps you had a new perspective. Those are the type of things that we're looking for in discussion. So then when someone goes to reply, they're reading something new or something different, or a take on a piece that they have also read that they may have not considered. So that's what we're wanting to take away, versus 12 objective summaries of the same material that we've all read. That's going to get a little dry for everyone, and so we don't want to make our discussion forums boring and lackluster. So make it your own and use quotes to support what you have to say. Vice versa, you can use a quote as a jumping off point and go in from that. Either way, you'll need to include a citation in APA format. Moving on to week two. So week two actually has 2.5 parts, I guess, if you will. The first thing you're going to want to do is read chapters 2 and 3 in the Pierto book. That's the 21st century creativity text that we have. You will also either participate in one online chat or complete chapter summary of chapters 2 and 3 in the text. So let me just go over this a little bit for those of you who may not have had a class with an asynchronous chat type setting. So I've used this a couple of times in classes, and I really like it, and students have found it beneficial as well. It's still a formal type of learning because we will bring to our chat sessions responses to questions that I've already posted in Brightspace. We may not get to them all because the chat session only lasts about 30 minutes, maybe a little more, but no less. And I try to stay around 30 minutes to honor everyone's time and what we've set up for this course. So I've posted those questions so you can come to the chat with that in mind, that these are things that we're going to discuss. And if there are questions specifically that you have, I'd like you to bring those to the course, the chat session as well. We have 3 choices of chats to choose from: Wednesday, June 20th at 5 p.m., Thursday, June 21st at 9:30 p.m., or Friday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. Now, if you are not able to make any of those times, you can complete a chapter summary over chapters 2 and 3 of the text. And then you'll submit that to Dropbox by Friday, June 22nd at 11:59 p.m. For those of you who would like the formatting information, that is all included in your syllabus. It is also on Brightspace in the content section, so you can read over that. But it's basic 12-point Times New Roman font, 1-inch margins, double spaced. So you'll have about 2 pages of summary for the 2 chapters. What I want to say about the online chat as well is that I've chosen those times kind of based on when I see people posting their discussion forums, when they are posting their Flipgrid videos. But having said that, if you have you're not able to meet these times that I've set up for next week, what I'd like you to do is send me an email and say, you know what, I really wanted to do the online chat, but I couldn't because I couldn't make any of those times. We can work with this. So if you'll send me times, probably more than one, but 2 or 3 that you think that would work for you, if you're not able to meet these times, just send me a note and we'll try to see what we can figure out for future weeks. So that's kind of that piece of week 2. The second piece is to submit the final project plan on Brightspace. So our final project plan is not our final project. It's just the plan that you hope to set out for your project. It'll include the objective or purpose or a summary of what you would like to do. And like I said in the syllabus, your final project can be just about anything you want it to be. Something that is creative, preferably something that you haven't done before, or if you've done it before, you want to take it to another level, or you want to incorporate something that makes it just enough different that you are having to use your creativity to make it your own and different this time. So the plan will include those items, and you'll submit that into the discussion forum on Brightspace, and that will allow us to give you feedback. And maybe you've got some blind spots in your plan or some things that you hadn't considered, and we can help kind of fill that in. Having said that, you only have to respond to 2 students. That's the requirement. But I kind of have this notion that the more you do, the more you learn. So if you have the time to respond to additional students, please do so. We learn as we interact with our classmates and we read about the projects that they're working on, and it may be something that's super cool that you're like, yeah, like I think that would be amazing, and have you thought about this, and have you thought about that? And they may not have, and that's appropriate, and I think feedback that's appreciated, and they can either take it or leave it, but it's in the act of offering those comments and having to come to those comments that help us learn. So it'll just be our plan that is due in week 2. So this part 2 of week 2, we're going to watch Julie Burstein's TED Talk, and it's about 17 minutes long, so kind of have that in mind when you're trying to find time to watch a video. You will be participating in the discussion forum for responding to this TED Talk. I have about 5 or 6 different discussion topics. You're required to respond to 2. You can respond to more, reference my earlier comments, and then you are to respond to 2 of your classmates. That's required, but you can also respond to more. For your initial question responses, please try to get those in by Wednesday, June 20th. I know that things come up and it's difficult sometimes when it's a summer class and it's compressed. But the thing about posting in the midweek is that it allows your peers to have a couple of days to read and respond. And I think that that's, great to offer discussion. And then you're going to, up here where you're posting your project plan, you're going to respond to 2 of your peers and their project ideas. So here's the half piece to week 2. This is the reflective journal, and it's listed on page 5 of your syllabus. So If you've read your syllabus, this is not new information to you, but you will be keeping a reflective journal over the next 6 weeks. You are required to have a minimum of 10 entries in your reflective journal to receive full points for your efforts. If you have never done any kind of reflective journal or reflective practice, I've included a reflection reading log file. You can click on it in your content section and it'll take you directly to it. But it's just a document that you can read more about what reflective practice is, what it means to read and reflect on something. And I think it's a helpful starting point or a refresher for sure. There will be some people I know already that will notice, well, you didn't say how long it needed to be. You're right, I didn't. This is a creativity class, and so I am really hoping to kind of push us in a way that reflection shouldn't be something that I say it's got to be a minimum of 5 sentences. That's really goes against the very nature of what it means to reflect. And if you read something or if you watch something like the TED Talk and you reflect and you only come away with a sentence, I'm going to challenge you that you did not do the work that's recommended in this file right here. So I'm not going to put a minimum. I'm not going to put a maximum. This is your work, and you're going to get out of this class what you put into it. So minimum 10 entries. So I'm not putting any other restrictions or requirements on that assignment except that piece right there. And okay, this is the last thing, and then I'll wrap this up because this is a very long news item, I know. Your collage assignment is going to be due in week 3, and I know we haven't even started week 2 technically yet, and I'm already talking about that. But I do think it's important in a compressed course to be looking ahead at the things that you have to do, and it is included on your syllabus and on the schedule. So I went ahead and created a week 3 in the content area. So for those of you who would like to know more about that assignment, you can access that information now and begin working on it. It's going to be kind of like our project plan in that you will upload it to the discussion board, and then we will offer you feedback, and we'll kind of do some comments that way. And then in addition to the collage assignment, you will have a 1-page reflection activity after you've done that collage of what thoughts you had during the process, after the process. So you don't have to do that immediately, but it has to be a pretty quick turnaround time. I have already created a Dropbox for that, and you can upload your reflection to that Dropbox. So for those of you who want to work ahead, you have your instructions. For those of you who are taking it week by week, that's fine too. And when week 3 comes, I will post another either video news item or written news item that will walk us through that collage assignment as well. So I think that that's a lot of information. And if you have watched this entire 13.5-minute video, you will know from here and from the discussion forum that I've included an extra credit, a couple of points that you can earn in week 2. So I'm excited to see if anybody takes advantage of that. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope it's cool where you are. I don't think I will leave my home, and I'll just stay where it's cool. So wishing you all the best. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send me a message. Thanks.